Well, the European Space Agency has revealed its class of 2022, including the first ever para-astronaut. Paralympian John McFall, who's a sprinter from the UK, will be taking on the new role. During the announcement, he said it was an exciting opportunity and he hoped to inspire others. Well, earlier I spoke with YouTuber Tom Harries. He uses a wheelchair and he said the announcement was a pleasant surprise.
As someone who's really sort of passionate about the idea of, disabled people entering more industries and, all across, the world and in every different sector, the idea of, a disabled astronaut or a para-astronaut is just such a huge accomplishment and a huge step forward for, I guess, every disabled person.
I suppose the fascinating thing is that about in a zero gravity environment, the fact that you are, let's say, a paraplegic or whatever, shouldn't actually in itself make much difference.
No, if anything, I know that for a lot of disabled people, sort of hydrotherapy is a very common thing, and that's kind of used because it kind of almost simulates lesser gravity as well. So, yeah, I think absolutely it's the sort of thing that it should have happened, and now that it has happened, it's a huge accomplishment and very much one that I think has been a while coming, but it's just another great step for disabled representation across the board.
There will be those who worry about box ticking and will say, look, it's all very well to say we've got in John McFall, who's, by the way, as we said, no small part, doubtless, of the reason he was chosen is he's a very, very experienced, talented Paralympian. He's a very fit man, notwithstanding having a particular disability that might limit some things he can do. There's plenty of other things he can do.
Exactly.
But they might say, actually, the astronauts are they're the cherry on top of the cake. The space programme is enormous. How many people with disabilities are there actually working at every level of the space programme? It's a legitimate question, that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the sort of thing, you mentioned like box ticking. I don't see it as that personally. What I see it as is levelling the playing field, because obviously it's important for everyone in every strata of society, no matter who you are, to get these opportunities. And I see it as just, as the more people you can get to have these opportunities, the wider you cast the talent net. Surely that's a net positive for every industry everywhere. That's how I see it, at least.
Are you hopeful he is actually going to get a moonshot, that he's actually going to get up there? Because you and I know that there are some people who get selected for the astronaut programme who never actually get to go into space. And goodness knows, nobody has been on the moon for half a century.
No, well, it would obviously be a huge achievement if they manage that. But I think I'm just happy to see the progress that's already being made, and anything on top of that would be, a bonus. Obviously, something like a moon landing would be incredible.
Thomas, I have to ask, given the backdrop behind you, you're a man after my own heart. When you were growing up, did you want to be an astronaut, or would you prefer to travel in time?
Well, I've always sort of had a passionate for the sort of media in general, and I guess Doctor Who. I was always very fascinated by. Space is obviously a key part of that, and I think for me personally, obviously it's hugely just really nice to see so many different stratums of the world being reached by disabled talent, and obviously that's something that, as someone who follows various different disabled contributors to all different fields, it's very, very exciting. And personally, I love this news. I'm very excited for it.
Tom Harris talking to me a little earlier. Now time to look at the weather. Here's Louise Lear.